Howdy, hi, and hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of CNC Talks. As always, we are your hosts. I am Noah.
I am Krista.
I'm Dickhead.
Wow, I'm the one that gets fucking insulted out of this. Here, take this ring back.
Gotta change it up.
Wow. All right, today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We have put a post out on Reddit.
I put a couple posts out on
Well, yeah, a couple posts. We're going to be talking about tips and tricks today.
best and worst. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, for, it's for new players, veteran players, like everything.
Yes.
Probably mostly help out the new players or people that don't play often.
I didn't read these yet, so I don't know.
Dude, I can't wait till it's just like, tip 1, eat shit. Tip 2, eat more shit.
So, do you want to start with our tips, or do you want me to go like back and forth, or we do the end?
Let's do... Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just gonna say, I have just a couple, like, general ones that I wanted to talk about that are, like, relative to pretty much anybody playing D&D, but they are ones that I specifically have experience with now. So, like, I could mention these, and then we can just, like, evolve.
You want to just go back and forth then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
We can do that.
You want to start, or you want me to start?
Go ahead and start.
Okay. Go fuck yourself, Cody. I saw one of these, and I know it's not good. This was the first post, I believe.
If it's stupid, just skip it. Or inappropriate.
Well, all right, here you go. It's called Look at the Thing There. DMs love it when you offer many critiques mid-session. Bonus points if they are mid-thought. What do you think? Best tip ever? Yeah.
That's the worst fucking tip. That is the most... How do I want to say that? That is the most sarcastic fucking dickhead thing I've ever heard. It reminds me of all those D&D horror stories we did in the earlier episode. That's not how you should do this. It's not your game. Like, get the fuck out of here. Although sometimes I will... So, I'm going to say this. Okay, a serious answer to this. Not so serious answer to our post. A serious answer to that is... A good DM will accept criticisms, but there's a time and a place. Also, I think sometimes in a game, a time and a place is a good time to point out those criticisms, but...
Most of them.
But it has to be appropriate. It has to be respectful, because I'm also thinking of a situation with bad DMs and decent players or good players. I also go back to those horror stories we were talking about. Like, if there's something in the middle of a game where, like, we give you criticisms, or we weigh in on stuff sometimes when it's your decision. Mm-hmm. But it's like sometimes we're like, hey, like, I think this is how that spell would play out. I think this is how this would work. Wouldn't it make more sense for this to happen? Wouldn't it do that? And, like, it kind of triggers something. Like, we work as a team. But, like, I know, like I said, it's hard because this is obviously a sarcastic answer. But, like, I think it can be a good thing, and it can also be a fucking awful thing at the same time.
Yeah.
So, as long as it's well handled, I think criticisms are important. On the rare occasion that it calls for it to happen in the middle of a campaign, it's usually a dickhead thing anyway. Like, the DM's a dickhead, or, like, remember that one where they were all just teaming up on that one girl that was playing? And, like, he was like, why don't you go get me a drink, or get me a... Like, that would have been, like, get the fuck out of my house now. Like... Which is less, obviously not a critique, but I mean, like, you know, like a more extreme situation like that. So.
Krista?
Your turn.
Your first tip.
Or do you have any comments on that?
Nope.
Okay.
You hit the nail on the head.
Then
with those
your
things.
first tip.
Yep. Kind of like moving on from that. Take your time creating a backstory. Seriously. Like, well,
Fuck backstories. AI generated all day, baby. No, I'm just kidding.
it is probably the most fun thing I have going on with this campaign is I love the story of my character.
Mm-hmm.
The things that happen, the things that keep happening, the things that happened
drama.
in the past, the drama, the interaction with other characters. Like, I haven't really taken I'm a terrible note taker, but if I were to be taking notes about my character, I could literally like map out the character progress of her. And those things are really important, and that's really fun for me. The other part of that is don't forget to continue your character creation with the DM throughout the process. That has also been like the number 2 most fun thing we've done. So like
I did that with both of you.
when something happens in the story, we have an idea. I message Noah and I say, "Hey,
wait. Are you saying you said character creation? Do you mean character development?
development," or like, "Hey, this would make sense for this to have happened in my past.
Yeah, that's
Can
fine.
we incorporate
I was confused
this?"
when you said character creation. I'm like, wait, like if your character dies, you create another. I get what you mean now. I was confused for a second.
Yeah. So like,
I see what you mean though by character creation.
don't forget that like when you create your character, those things that you start out with will evolve.
Yeah.
And they should evolve
Yes.
and become deeper into the plot and the story and all that kind of stuff.
So I'm gonna play off of yours and respond to your thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first thing you said?
Take your time creating a backstory.
So I will advocate for this. I fucking hate creating backstories.
I know.
Whenever it comes to backstories, I'm the least creative motherfucker ever.
Nope.
But, well, yeah, that's not true. There's some stuff that it depends.
just-
It depends on how much puff pass I've had over the past. You know, that one day. No, listen, that one day, and I fucking came up with the coolest fucking backstory. Noah was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it was. It was one of our earlier episodes, though.
Furbulk fighter, multi-personality because he had a mental break that he was eating the dad of the family that supposedly took him in but actually chained him up and treated him like an animal.
Oh no, it was the mom.
Well, yeah, I
think
know,
it was
but
the
you
mom-
were eating
yeah.
you were eating the dad.
Oh yeah.
And anytime you tasted blood of any sort that's not animal,
It was like when Jekyll and Hyde would kick in.
yes.
Yeah. So I came up with like that. I came up with we did like a fire genasi and like I did all this stuff, and then it was the devil from The Devil Went Down to Georgia from that fucking song, and I made him into a character and like shit like that. So like my point to this is, we got a little off topic there.
Yep.
So my point to this is that I do not like creating backgrounds that much. I never really saw the need for it. Now that I've been dealing with backgrounds more because of this podcast and because of like our character randomization and stuff, I have come to absolutely love and cherish backgrounds more than any other thing in this game.
Thank God.
Honestly. like I used to be all about like, hey, I got to make sure I'm a hard hitter, and I have to make sure that like my character absolutely murders with spells and weapons and stuff. And I got to have a chunky fucking HP, like all this stuff. I come now and I'm like, I have to have like a wild, not like wild, but like I have to have a super nice backstory. I have to have something that I'm going to actually follow. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to be able to play into it. And like, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Obviously, we have other campaigns planned and stuff. I cannot wait for you guys to see the background for my Egyptian character. I cannot wait for you to see it. So,
Hell yeah.
I think, like, backstories are... So, if you hate backstories now, I will say, I don't care if you have to AI generate them. Make sure your backstory is good and legit. And that you're happy with it. Fucking AI create backstories until your fingers fall off. Till you find one that you like.
One of them you will like.
Yeah, you need to have one that makes, because if not, then in my opinion, you're not really going to enjoy D&D to its fullest the way that you should. Because I've always liked D&D over the past 7 or 8 years. I've had a lot of fun with it, but I've never been into it like I've been into it since we started this. Mm-hmm. Like, ever since our character randomizers and stuff, I all of a sudden was like, oh, this is... Like, I thought I could be creative with casting spells and stuff. This is where I get creative. This is where I have fun. So, I definitely agree.
I'm going to jump off of YouTube before we go back to Reddit. Character creation is amazing, yes. Take your time with that. But try and make your own character. Don't try and make a dumbed down version of Batman or a dumbed down version of fucking Walter White. Try and lean away from pop culture. You can get inspiration from there, but if you're getting in the D&D, you have some type of creativity in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. Unless you're just trying it out.
Yeah.
But if you're like Michael and you keep playing D&D and you just play the dumbest fucking characters that do not make sense, that, like, don't fit in with the party and stuff like that. Like,
who's Michael?
We talked about this last time.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. We should make it clear to everybody, it is not anybody in our current party.
No.
Like, we've talked about this in prior episodes, but, like, it's somebody that Noah had to DM for...
Many, many years ago.
Yeah, like, several years ago, fucking just a horrible person in general. We don't even talk to him anymore. But, yeah, that's, like... I don't know. I think it's just really kind of corny to do that in a way.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like you said, you can take inspiration from it,
but don't try and
fucking try to copy a character.
Yeah.
It's cool sometimes to see, oh, hey, look at this. People made Pokemon, like a Pokemon trainer. They use... What is it? Animal handling, and it was like
command or
it was like some
beast
find familiar, I think.
Yeah.
And your familiars are just the Pokemon, and then they have their own attacks and stuff. And somebody made a module for that. That's cool as fuck. Like, that's different. But if you're just like, hey, like, I literally picture it as like an animated cartoon, and you see like this big orc barbarian, then you see like this elf that's getting ready to cast magic, and then you just see, and then like Batman just pulls his cape over to the side, and I'm like, why does this fit? Like, it doesn't. Get the fuck out of here. Take it serious. Well, not super serious, that you don't have to be an elitist about it, but like, just, you know what I mean. If you're all in it to have a good time and play the game, then play the game. You're not funny. Like, don't try to be.
All right. Back to Reddit. This is by I Have That Fetish. Go fuck yourself, Cody.
I didn't even get a fucking...
Fine, go ahead.
I was just going to trigger you. Absolutely 100%. My tip. Do not fucking metagame. Ever.
Do you want to explain what that is?
Explain to the people.
Yeah.
If you know something is going to happen in a game, or something is occurring in a game, but your character would not know that that thing, like, that said thing is taking place, or something was said or whatever, then don't act like your character all of a sudden knows.
Here's a better example.
I was gonna give an example, but
Then
yeah,
what's
yeah.
your
that was
example?
No, go ahead. You're
that was a
fine.
long-winded explanation.
I'm gonna fuck.
I'm gonna
Okay.
fuck.
This is the last podcast I'm gonna be on. So go ahead.
Here's an example. There is a beholder that you're about to fight, and the whole entire party. This is the first time encountering it. You as a person know all of the stats, all of the different eye attacks it can do.
Yeah, this is a different
all the
one, I was
speed,
thinking.
all the speed, what it's weak to, what not.
Because you physically in real life read the fucking monster manual, like you know. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
But your actual character that you're playing as does not know anything about it.
I just picture somebody just like you're picturing the fight take place and you just hear somebody go, "They got 47 HP." Like, you can just hear it. It's like, God? Was that you?
So-
that's basically if it's something
Pretty
you know
much,
as a person
yeah.
but your character doesn't know, don't
Act on it.
don't act on it. You know, it's just common sense. Fucking Sadis whispers something to Frondosa in a room separated from all of us. And if they walk back in and Ranto would be like, "So
How's the family?"
well, no, like if they were like whispering about like, "Hey, we're gonna eat at 5:00, whatever, something stupid. We're gonna eat at 5:00 and they'll eat at 6." They walk in and be like, I think I'm gonna try and eat early today, like at 5:00 roughly." It's like, dude, don't metagame. Like they're playing a prank on you or whatever, like something stupid, like. You know, or something important. You know, there's a bunch of different circumstances where it could happen, but it's like, it's so stupid. It's like, what's the point of playing?
To avoid that situation, this is one of my other points.
Go ahead.
Ask questions. Your character can ask questions. You as a player can ask questions. Your question can literally be, would my character know this?
Yeah. Other thing, too. This is another example of metagaming. Don't ask leading questions. When it's like, oh, I know that this is supposed to happen in the story. Then we walk into a room and there's a chest here and be like, "Do I know whether this is a mimic or not? Can I check to see if this is a mimic or not?" And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Perfect example. The fucking island. Or the oasis.
Yeah.
If my dumbass would have been paying attention, you talked to me about an oasis mimic 3 separate times and I told you, man, that would suck and really piss me off if that ever happened. We're in there and I'm just like, the acid started happening. I'm like, what is going on? And then like halfway through, I'm just like, fuck! Like, just immediately, I was like, I know what is happening. I'm like, I can't tell a fucking soul, but I know what's happening. And I just played it off like normal. I just played it like it was supposed to be played. I didn't go, "Hey, I think this is a mimic, guys. It really seems like a mimic, I think. That's not water,
That's stomach
it
acid.
smells like stomach acid." Like, you know, like, it's just,
Yeah.
I think it ruins the fun, because even if you know something's coming, I know for us personally, some stuff we knew, but to see the reaction on our friends' faces whenever something, like, when that fucking mic drop happens, you're just like, oh, I knew they were gonna love this. Oh, I knew this was gonna fuck them up emotionally forever. Like, just shit like that. Like the mic drop that's coming up in the next couple episodes. Hint, hint. You'll see in the future. That is going to be, like...
I think that's one of my biggest mic drops.
Yeah.
I think it has to be.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, what was the other one? The other mic drop, I think, would have been Ranto with the U's.
Yep.
That was a big one, too, because all of a sudden everyone's like, wait a minute. Something ain't right here.
Yep.
Or like, this will be the last one, but fucking
Yeah.
her and Sadis.
Yeah.
As soon as they were like, shit! Like, what? What happened? Like, it was just out of nowhere.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Is that in the new season?
Yeah.
God damn it. You'll have to bleep that out again.
I know, I'm
It's gonna
bleeping
be
out a
long
lot.
bleep.
You can just delete this section.
Yeah.
I'll have to say, this is for future campaign. I'm not allowed to say anything.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Reddit.
Reddit.
By the person, I have that fetish.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Same, dude. Same. Or dudette, whichever one.
Yeah. So this one is get a sense of what kind of game everybody wants to play before you finalize the characters. You want to be more roleplay, combat, in the middle, more serious or comedic, more freedom, more module-like. Do you want there to be some tie in backstories with characters?
So are you saying that's for a DM?
This is
You're essentially like going to interview all the
Talk to your
players,
players,
before
talk
the
to
campaign
each other.
starts.
of what kind of game you want to have.
Yeah. See, that's what I think.
You did before we started.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
He-
Well, yes, but no at the same time.
No,
it wasn't as in depth though.
Well,
as it should have been.
I remember him specifically asking me, "What kind of game do you want to play?
asked
Do you
all of
want
you
us to
guys.
be serious?
Oh,
do you want us
I
to
didn't
be
think.
funny?"
And then the last part is, as much as the DM might enjoy shaping the world and story around the characters, it's also important to shape your characters around the world or story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's big time.
Yep.
Yes.
And you can't leave all of that up to the DM.
Yes.
That
Please
has to be
don't.
joint
One that was
effort.
so poorly well done. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Such a great fucking concept. So poorly executed.
Yeah.
Still being poorly executed.
I'll bring up these two. They each had a small little backstory where Frondosa was trying to become a priestess and Ranto was battle hungry and just got done from a war.
Yeah, just chaotic in
And
general.
then as time went on,
Unhinged.
I talked to each of them to try and continue their story in some way. And they each have grown to be their own people now.
Yeah.
I almost said something.
Come on, say
No, it's okay. I'll tell you after. I'll tell you when you're older.
it. I knew it.
You knew it was coming.
All right, next.
Okay. This is for new players and existing players. This is something that I learned that I'm definitely going to improve upon. Take good notes. It is important, especially if you don't have a good memory, especially if you have long periods of time between playing, especially when you have multiple players.
Why are you staring at me?
This also affects you, my guy.
Why? I'm usually pretty good. I passed your quiz. Fuck you. Ask Krista the same quiz. Then compare.
All right, yeah,
I
you're
will
right.
fail
Exactly.
All
every
right.
single question.
Next episode, Krista,
That's
you're
why
taking
I,
a quiz.
yeah, that's why I
That would be
re-listen to
funny.
our podcast before we play again.
All right, that's next episode. Krista's taking that quiz.
Oh
That'd
no,
be so
no,
funny.
please
Yes.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to be embarrassed.
You're taking that quiz.
No,
Yeah, you have
No.
to. Yeah.
no.
Roll a die.
Everybody has to take
We'll
it if
leave
I
it up.
take
That's
it.
fine.
Oh, yeah, we'll take it. That's fun.
Fucking make
I mean,
a
I
quiz.
already took it.
Make a quiz for me, and I'll fucking pass it.
I guarantee you I can fuck him up with this. Challenge accepted.
All right.
Next
Next two
week-
episodes.
No, just next episode it's going to be you and you. We're
Alright.
going to go for the quiz. So, I'll make one for you.
Okay.
And then you'll take the same one as me.
Well, next Saturday we could do it with Megan. She'll be up next weekend.
There we go.
There we go. She'll
3
be here-
quizzes.
She'll be here.
My sister's bridal shower is Saturday, and she's staying the weekend.
Oh, she'll be here the next 2 weeks?
No.
Our birthdays.
Oh yeah, she will. The next 2 weekends.
You better make sure she's aware that it's
Oh
2
yeah.
weekends in a row.
Yeah, she's fine.
Anyway,
So the 23rd? Will the 23rd work?
Oh, wait.
22nd is Saturday.
Yeah, I know, the 23rd is our D&D
should
day.
be the next session if Jake and Kaylin are good. Next
Not
Sunday.
this weekend, next weekend.
16,
Not this coming Sunday.
22nd.
The following.
Okay, yeah, it
Yes.
is the next 2 weeks. It's not. I was thinking this weekend coming up.
Oh,
That's why
no.
it was confusing me. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the podcast. We're fucking
Life is happening.
yeah. Yeah.
So many things.
The realization that
Time is moving.
time is fleeting. Oh, I was thinking.
So I have take good notes for NPC names, places that you go, plot points,
She is fucking me up right now.
She's fucking me up, my guy.
spells that you like and dislike, and also something that I keep forgetting to do, DM discretion changes. So things that like with some of my spells or
Myco.
abilities or
Myco.
yes,
Myco.
other things. Like take notes on those things because they may come up again in the future and you may not remember what those changes were.
Oh, I think this scene is in the newer part of the campaign, so nobody listening to this is going to understand it. But all I can think of is backed into a corner. Wait a minute, I have a mushroom familiar. He just grows big and he's just like, Hawk smash. Just fucking, like, it was just funny.
Yeah.
But that's like one of those things, note taking. Like, I agree with you on that.
Yep.
I'm not really going to add anything to it. I just think I should even take notes, and I have a much better memory for this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But, like...
It's great to keep things straight. If you're good, whatever. But taking good notes is just one more way to keep yourself in line with what's happening.
Question. Whenever she does the test next week, can she use my notes?
No.
So her lifeline is literally just going to be a book? Like this?
I'll change the use books or notes to ask Cody.
Okay, we can do that. I still don't remember its name, so... I don't remember which one it was. But... You get like 3 lifelines, like Jeopardy too. So,
Okay.
you'll be fine.
Okay.
You'll at least get 50% right.
I don't know.
There were 27
I've got
questions.
shit for brain's memory. So.
Listen, there were 27... She is new to D&D, though. Some of those first
We'll
questions
see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, Reddit.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Go ahead.
What?
I'm gonna go fuck myself.
Go ahead.
You weren't talking.
I
Go
just
ahead.
keep getting skipped.
I thought you
Go
didn't
ahead.
have anything.
I don't have anything, no. Go ahead.
I fucking despise of you.
I actually did, but you guys started being dickheads, and then I just completely forgot what I was gonna say.
This is by...
Oh.
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
I hate you.
I'll get right after you. You're good.
Amberink Drone. Not everything needs to be rolled.
Yeah.
If
I agree
a
with
player
Yep.
could ask, I want to find the enemy leader. DM, he could say that it is the only person that has armor, a nice fleece coat, or something of the sort
that.
to
You don't
just
even have...
Yeah.
obviously see
Yeah.
he
Something that's
looks the
common
biggest.
sense.
It's him.
Yeah. I like that. Don't worry about having to roll literally for everything. You might not have to.
Another one this person said is, you don't have to use perception checks all the time. You don't need to constantly roll perception checks.
That's why passive perception is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally what passive perception is for. And that's the thing. We played 7 years, and it took me till like a year ago to realize that there was passive perception. I had no idea this whole time. I never used it once.
And the last one is be prepared to have a lot of improv.
That was a huge obstacle for me to overcome.
Yes.
Because I'm creative, but on the spot, it gets dicey.
You got real good at it, though.
You're getting better,
with
yeah.
Ranto.
Yeah, but like even like on this podcast, on this episode, I start rambling and then I realize I ramble and then I panic and my mind just goes boop. And then I'm just like
like
it's
an
like
Etch-a-Sketch.
no, it's kind
You've
of
scribbled too fast and you messed it up, so you just
yeah,
go
you just shake it. No, mine. I was thinking more. Mine's like Control Delete. Like just you just click it and then it's just like doot, and I'm just like sure thing, Noah. Go ahead. And you're like, dude, you were mid sentence. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know with what.
So I have a good point to go off of that.
Okay.
Humans aren't perfect, so we can't expect our characters to be perfect also.
Nothing's
So
fucking perfect.
when you roll and you have a shitty roll, it could literally be a situation of like you walk out your door and you trip down your steps. Like that was a shitty roll. Sometimes it just happens. It's gonna happen to your character. You just have to go with it. You can't always have a good roll. It'd be freaking awesome if you did, because you get a lot of shit done.
This is a good example
But-
as well. Like to that, I'm sitting at the bar, and I want to slap Frondosa in the face. She is plastered drunk. If you make me roll for that, and I am fully sober, and she is drunk, if I don't slap her, I'm quitting the game
No.
on the spot.
But that would be a perfect role play moment where if you did roll and you got a shitty roll, she ducked her head to tie her shoe real quick and you missed her. Like,
She
I
ducked
smacked
down.
him. Ding! Just hit him on the ass where the armor is.
She ducks down, and you're about to smack her when she comes back up, but she hits the top of her head. You just whiff hard.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the perfect opportunity for improv. Even if you have a shitty roll, that doesn't mean you're going to have a shitty time. Like, that's freaking funny if that were to happen, you know? Then you could laugh about it.
Yeah, I think what I'm talking about, though, that's just I was just using it as an example, but like more serious moments.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is not a funny encounter.
Yeah.
So if I fail at something that is stupid, I'm like, okay. Like, you know, like, things happen, but like, some characters, they're like, hey, this is really serious and this is going to happen. And if it whiffs or whatever, it's like, this literally made my character look like somebody out of Shrek. Like,
Sometimes it happens.
yeah, but it doesn't make sense, is what I'm saying.
But you can make it make sense, is the thing.
Yeah, but
So,
I don't know.
say you're in a situation where
I know what you mean. I just don't understand. Like, I think sometimes that's where it comes back. I know we talked about it before, but like, whenever it could hurt the person's like view of Dungeons and Dragons in general. Remember when we said that like some people just like do a really shitty job and like make them look like failures, and then they're just like, I don't want to play. Cole, perfect example. He's like, I'm not playing D&D again.
Yeah, because of that one person.
Yeah, I got like screwed over really bad because somebody thought something would have been funny to do something, and it just like ruined everything in my character. Like,
well, then I would
died
say
and
that
stuff.
that's not a very good DM. Because whether you have a good role or not, you can still have a good time.
but I'm just saying. Yeah, but I'm just saying.
It's up to the DM.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that sometimes it's
So
like.
I forget what the situation was. I think it was in this recent campaign or something. I forgot a detail that Frondosa knew or something that could have helped a situation. And I know that that's not like a rolling kind of situation, but it's still like I just had to face the consequences of that.
Oh.
Okay, I kind of see the
You know what I mean?
consequences.
Like, but the consequences don't have to be me wanting to quit the game. It's me realizing that that is now part of the story.
That was someone else's tip in here. Even on a bad roll or something happens to your character, don't pout, don't muddle over it.
I was really upset when that happened, and I was like, felt super guilty about it. But then I was like, it was my own fault for forgetting that, and maybe in that opportunity, Frondosa, in the midst of battle or whatever the situation was, she just didn't
Panicked.
remember. Yeah, and I had to keep
Okay.
going.
I guess I see. Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Accept it, improve,
Yeah. Now,
try and
and,
move on.
Adapt.
and I would
overcome-
say,
Or wait. Yeah.
Adapt, overcome, and conquer. Right?
I think so.
Something
Something like
adapt and overcome, isn't
Yeah.
it?
But I would say on your point, Cody, about people or that situation of that person never wanting to play again because the DM handled that situation like that, I think that makes a bad DM. And
Yeah.
I don't blame them for not wanting to play like that, because you do an excellent job, Noah, about moving the details forward or allowing certain things to pass in order to, like, I don't know if I would say like keep the peace, but like to make sure everybody's having fun. It's not
Oh, like you mean like on the spot, like
yeah.
yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Even if you don't see, just take it as a compliment and just yeah. But anyway,
Do you have a tip, Cody?
this is gonna sound stupid. It's gonna be kind of tedious, and I'm going to do it soon because I have to. Read the fucking handbook.
Which one?
The only player's handbook there is.
For 5th edition.
Yeah,
'Kay.
for 5th edition.
Okay.
The other, I don't even. I guess I do have a
Third, 3.5.
third edition. Yeah, third edition handbook right here. But this guy right here is so full of information that until we started doing this, I never really looked into this thing much. I just kind of went off of what I knew. But like even something as simple as when we were going through reading the spells and stuff, I found so many spells that I love, and I think they have so much more use than what I normally would think. And like, where's the one I was talking about? It had
Does it do a good job of explaining things from the beginning?
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, literally, it starts out. Chapter 1 is like step-by-step characters. Literally tells you everything. Class, level. Like, it breaks down all this stuff. And then the races. And then it goes into, like, the classes. And then it goes into backgrounds. And then what's the one thing? This is what I was going to mention, because this is, like, the most, in my opinion, the most important part. Equipment. Adventuring. I think chapter 8 in this book would help a lot of new players and semi-seasoned players.
Refresh on the rules
Yeah.
for season players.
Well, my thing is sometimes it's not even refreshing. If you literally read this, you go, oh, I was just always under the impression it worked this way. Look
But-
at how you said that one spell that you read, you were like,
Knock.
oh, this,
Yeah.
knock. You're like, oh, this fucks everything up.
Yeah. But
But,
keep
like-
in mind too that DM discretion is a thing. So like rules are guidelines.
But these are more mechanics
yeah.
of the game,
But
not
even
rules
then-
of the game. Like, it's not like Noah pulls a 24-sided dice out of his ass and goes, hey, this is a new thing we're adding to this game. The mechanics stay the same. It's just, like, the rules of it. Like, this explains how movement works, how time works in the world of D&D, which is incredibly important if you're keeping track of, like, your concentration and the times and stuff like that. The speed is whatever. It tells you how travel is supposed to work with, like, forced march, mounts and vehicles, traveling pace, and how many days it takes, difficult terrain, different types of movements, activities while traveling. Even the stupid stuff like we couldn't like remember how some of us thought 4 hours was a short rest and 8 was a long. When we found out 1 hour
Is a short.
and 8 hours
7
is
to 8 is long.
Yeah. But like we were talking about that and I'm like, oh, I was like, I've been under the wrong impression for a long time. There's been several times we could have taken a short rest and we've just been like, let's just push on because it's going to take too much time. When we definitely could have spared an hour. So, you know, and then like some people, like it's good to read on it, but like some people follow some of these, some of them don't. Marching order. Usually the DM will kind of slide that in there if they need to know the marching order. But like drawing the map, foraging, stuff like that, you're technically supposed to role play every single aspect of the journey. But we just say, hey, we're just going to travel. And then you go, okay, you're going to go this far. You come across this 2 days in.
Yeah.
When really it's like you're supposed to play that all out, which I will probably not be playing. Like vision and light, social interaction, all this different stuff. So much information in this book that you could learn, and a lot of people just try to fucking wing it. And I've been winging it for 7 years, and I want to read through this and figure this out. So,
all right. I have 5 more. 4 of them are on Reddit. I have one of my own.
Go for it.
But
I'm done with my list.
you are?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm good with mine. You go ahead.
Okay. So, next one is intelligence and wisdom are role played separately. A barbarian can know less than most 5th graders and can still speak and be very profound. Can he do math? No. But he is able to give practical life advice. So, just depending on people like meshing intelligence and wisdom together for role playing,
Yeah.
they are easily different from each other.
Yeah, like, just because someone isn't... This is going to sound so dumb. Just because somebody isn't smart doesn't mean they're dumb.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... never mind.
You don't want to get into it, got it.
So, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, like an old person, you're walking down the street and you hear an old person talking about something. They're saying something super wise, but they didn't even finish high school.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, just because he's not educated, I feel like that's the big thing is intelligence is people go, oh, how stupid are you? When intelligence is, oh, how much higher education than what a normal, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think people just look at it weird, and that's why.
Next, this one has 2 in this post. Don't cut off spellcasters for new players. If they want to try it, let them try it.
Yeah.
Which I 100% agree with it. I always ask my players, if they're completely new and they don't know how to make a character, I ask, do you want to be more upfront and hit people with a sword, or do you want to cast spells from farther away? That's my first question on what they want to create.
Mm-hmm.
I don't try and...
You know what the best is?
What?
When they say a little bit of both. I'm like, man, you just made my job a lot easier, bud. It's like, instead of... Because, like, you got to realize a lot of people think, hey, what do you mean you made your job easier? Like, you're going to have to help them create this character and understand everything. But my job as, like, a more experienced player is to make sure the newer players are having a fucking blast.
Mm-hmm.
And if it means I got to sit down and explain something to them more, fuck it. Be a fucking spellcaster and a melee person at the same time. Like, that's more work for me, but in the end, you're going to have a character that's really cool and a lot of fun. Like Frondosa. You know, that's a good example.
Don't be afraid to try something new. Take the cleric. You don't have to be the all-holy healer. There are different types of subclasses that you can take over that don't deal with healing. You can literally build a cleric with 0 healing spells.
Yeah, just don't do sorcerer. That's all. Right?
I'm glad you know.
If you know, you know.
Exactly. And then this last thing that this person had was rogue does not mean that you are a jerk and steal shit from your party.
I've played with so many people that need to realize that rogues are not, like, terrible people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're just stealthy. Doesn't mean you're a scumbag.
I think Chris already brought this up. This is another post. If someone is playing as a spellcaster, make sure that they reread their spells. They will forget something, forget a saving throw, forget a damage type, and it'll just make it a lot easier for the DM and you and everyone around you.
I even need to do that.
Reread your spells, right, Krista?
I'm really bad at that.
You're bad at preparing.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're bad at preparing for, you're like, I got to do all this stuff. And then, like, the day of, you're like, I didn't do a single thing to figure this out. Which I'm not saying I'm much better, but...
Allow your players to do stuff. Don't just railroad, pretty much. Let them have some type of open world.
Unless you have a Michael.
That's
one of the
very
biggest
true.
things, like, I think with that, it's all in the balance. Because, yeah, let your characters do things. That's fine. And then all of a sudden, you have a
Here's
fucking
Michael.
burned down orphanage. No kids made it out. Like,
Here's Michael burning down an orphanage because seemed fun.
yeah.
Oh,
Let
thanks,
me railroad
Michael.
railroad you straight into a jail. Let me railroad you straight into a power word kill.
Last one for Reddit. If a player wants to play a weak build or rolls low on one of their stats, that's room to improve. That's room to grow. Not staying at level 20 strength or not level 20, but 20 in a stat.
Yeah.
There's no room to grow. You can't get any better. If you have a lower stat, that can build up a story. That can build up you as a character to grow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then mine, I'm not trying to target anyone. I have dealt the. I have.
Fucking staring.
I'm sorry. I have dealt with this for almost all of my DMing, but people on their phones. I know it is a different age where D&D Beyond has everything online.
Mm-hmm.
But you do see people just scrolling on Pinterest, playing a mobile game, and to me, it makes me feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not because you're on your phone or whatever, because you're using your phone, but it just kind of makes me feel like I'm not doing enough to try and get you into the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me feel a little bit bad.
That was a pussy.
Hey!
Hey! No, I get that.
I will agree there is a time and the place for the phones, but sometimes, like, if your character is not actually involved in anything, like, I'm still paying attention. I'm just on my phone.
That's literally what I was just about to say. I think it's just situational.
I get it, though. Yeah.
I can kind of agree, but sometimes when, let's say, the campaign back in the card shop, I had a friend that put so much money into mobile games, he was always on it. He was still somewhat there. Mm-hmm. He still heard the story and still was a part of it, but didn't feel like he was
engaged.
actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, there's a time and a place. Yes, you might not be playing at the moment. But what if some kind of backstory hits and you phased out at that point in time?
Yeah.
And then I bring it up.
That's fair.
Like sessions and sessions later, you're like, whoa, that's what? Like, I brought that up 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Which,
And that's where the note taking comes in.
yeah.
Be aware for your notes.
But luckily, this person at the car shop said, I got rid of all the mobile games because I felt bad. And it meant a lot.
Nice.
That's my take. That's
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
You can be on your phones if you have D&D Beyond, but be aware of the DM. I'm just saying. That's all I got.
Thought I had one more, but there's something.
Man, your mind's fucking gone.
No, it was something that. Oh, with scheduling and stuff.
Oh.
Make sure, because this is it's like a weird double-edged sword, especially for like, an example would be like this podcast for like some stuff. So like with scheduling, make sure if you're going to commit to something that you're actually going to have the availability to do it. And I'm not saying for like only podcasts or whatever, but if you're going to be with a group and you guys are going to meet daily, Jesus Christ, weekly or bi-weekly or whatever, like, it's okay if you, like, switch stuff around every now and then. Or, like, you're like, hey, can we do it this week instead of this week? Like, we'll do it 2 weeks in a row instead of that. Like, just make sure you guys have good communication with scheduling. I mean, we're pretty good with scheduling for the most part. Like, as good as we can be with our situation, I should say.
Okay.
That's one of the big things. Like, it's different because, you know, a couple of our members are... Wait, they're over an hour away. So, like, an hour plus away. And, like, some have kids, you know. Others have, like... other jobs or different stuff that we have to do, like, you know, whatever we have going on. So, like, it was a little rough in the beginning, but, like, we figured it out, and now we're like, hey, you know, it just kind of, as long as you guys are keeping in touch and being like, hey, I'm going to be available this time, I'm going to be whatever, but don't commit to it and then just be like, yeah, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Why'd you commit to it?
Anything else? No?
We
No.
got a lot of good points.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Not enough laughing.
Kill me.
Fucking no montage. Get the fuck no. Thank you all for listening to CNC Talks. If you like that episode and want to hear more, follow and subscribe to keep up to date. We have an Instagram and Facebook at Creatures and Cantrips and Twitter at Creature Cantrip. If you want your message to be read on the next episode, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Like, share, comment. It'll help us immensely. I hope you all have a wonderful day.